I want to turn the discussion now to some of the upcoming Phase 4 releases, and it's a barn burner. I'm going to read this list off. And I think, if you weren't thinking about all of the films that are still in the back half of Phase 4 for MCU, you're really this is gonna flip your wig. We've got Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which is shaping up to be possibly a genre-bending, genre-defining. I mean, you've got a maestro of superhero movies at the helm. Possibly one of the most beloved directors of superhero films is at the helm of that with Sam Raimi. We also have Thor: Love and Thunder, which seems like it's going to be, the fantasy superhero film to end all of them. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, highly anticipated, one of the most successful MCU films of all time, is finally getting its follow-up. We're going to see the Marvels. We've got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And if James Gunn's sort of break at DC and Warner Brothers is any indication, it looks like he's going to be coming back to the table, fully recharged creatively. We've got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which promises Kang as its main villain, and we have the Fantastic Four, which is also rounding out the Phase 4. I don't know how they're going to be able to disappoint us with any of those titles. And I'm not even done with television. Moon Knight is coming right around the corner. We've got She-Hulk. We've got Miss Marvel. We've got The Secret Invasion. We've got the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Ironheart, and the Armor Wars still to come. And apparently, this is all going to happen in Phase 4. So this is still a phase that has a lot of potential in it, a lot of heavy-hitting titles to come. So as high as Phase 4 has gotten so far, there still may be higher to go. But I'm excited to talk to the panel about this and get their thoughts on some of the releases and what is your most hotly anticipated Phase 4 release on streaming, on film, on both, whatever it is that's going to do it for you. I'm going to start this round with Stanton and sort of see what you're looking forward to the most in the upcoming run of films and television from MCU Phase 4.
There's so much going on, man. It's almost hard to choose. I mean, it really is. But the one that sticks out to me in terms of streaming right now is honestly Armor Wars. I think there's a lot of potential there. I think there's a lot of loose ends to pick up. I think Cody is a character that have his own ability to take some of the Iron Man threads that we've not seen on live action, run with those himself. So I think that's all really interesting. And I have this sense that it's going to be, it's going to be a part of something a little more. You might see some Secret Invasion stuff in there, or you might see some follow-up with maybe what Sharon Carter was doing or something. I don't know. Those aren't really predictions. I just feel like there might be a little bit more going on here than it might seem on the surface. Film-wise, oh, wow, man. It's hard not to go with, like, Doctor Strange, man. I mean,
it is.
But see what else I got coming up. I'll just go with that for now. Doctor Strange. I know it might seem a little cliche, but I'll just go with that. It seems like.
Look, it's a solid choice among a roster of total winners. Again, Doctor Strange, Thor: Love and Thunder, Wakanda Forever, The Marvels, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Fantastic Four. You really can't go wrong in any of these categories. But Doctor Strange does seem to be the leader of the pack here. It's the next upcoming film, and it promises probably to have the most surprises. So, it really does. But great to have that discussion with you. I'm going to move on to our next panelist, Rob. I want to talk to you about some of what you're looking forward to in terms of Phase 4, and give us your thoughts on it. I mean, there's a lot of titles coming out between streaming and the films. Again, one has to ask themselves, is the MCU machine finally stretching itself to its theoretical limits with regards to how it's going to be able to continue to please the fans? What are you looking forward to the most in that phase?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's so much out there. I think the one I look forward to the most, and it's also one I'm perhaps not the most unsure about, but unsure about is Moon Knight. I think Moon Knight is a really cool character, but I'm wondering how Disney will handle it. You know, he's a crazy, very brutal character, and don't know if Disney can do him justice. I think Oscar Isaacs is a great actor. The trailer looked good.
Yeah.
So far all good. Looks very promising. I just don't know if they'll be able to hit that level of crazy that Moon Knight
that the comic
is known
book
for.
sort of approach. Yeah. And that's a very valid concern. I'm not going to be the one to sit here and tell you that you shouldn't be worried or even slightly a bit concerned, because we've read Moon Knight comic books, obviously, you and I, and we know how they can take this character to the next level. But what specifically concerns you about that release? Is it the handling of the dissociative identity disorder pieces of it, or do you think they're not going to be? Because we look at something like Peacemaker, which is HBO Max and WB sort of opening salvo into the superhero genre. You got people getting decapitated, people getting shot, their faces blown off. I mean, James Gunn didn't hold a thing back, but we don't quite have, that level of violence that Disney can ramp up to. And as you say, Moon Knight is a character that's frequently surrounded by high level violence. But what in particular about Moon Knight concerns you in terms of Disney pulling it off?
It's mostly that. I just worry that Disney won't allow themselves to pull that trigger to show that brutal violence. That they won't go for that. Well, they'll definitely won't make it R-rated, but even close to it. I just don't see. I mean, there are some things in the trailer that do show, him brutally beating down someone.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives me some hope that they might be able to do it, and you can definitely do it even if you make it PG-13. I think Dark Knight's probably a good example that you can go pretty far within that, and since then we've seen many more examples. But it's just that, and maybe it's not fair anymore. Maybe they've already shown that they're not too scared to do that. But it's just that Disney label on it that has me concerned.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I think your concerns are justified. But I will give you a ray of hope in that I just read in the Reporter that Disney's retweaking the sort of age gating that goes on Disney Plus, because they're going to dump the Netflix films on there, the Netflix shows, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Power Man, all that stuff. Luke Cage is coming to Disney Plus, and so now they're just reworking on. Now there's going to be another tier in terms of an adult level. Who knows? Maybe Moon Knight will fall into that Netflix category, but we'll see. We'll totally see how that goes. Thank you so much for your comments, Rob. I want to jump to the Grandmaster, who's been lying in wait to talk about his most anticipated Phase 4 release. You've heard all of the shows. You've heard all of the films, Grandmaster. What corner of the universes are you looking forward to visiting in this phase? Upcoming releases.
Well, I'm anticipating two things equally, but for very different reasons. Positively, Fantastic Four. Yeah, how can you not be excited for the Fantastic Four? I mean, we have the moment it comes out, we haven't seen a Fantastic Four movie in 20 years. I mean, 2015 never happened. And I'm dreading next year November, or this year November, I should say, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I think that movie is in a lot of trouble.
Okay.
With the choice not to recast T'Challa, and I fear that movie coming out. So I'm anticipating that, but not so eagerly.
Is there any way, without knowing that the recast is not on the table, is there any way that Disney can save Wakanda Forever for you? What would they have to do?
Of course, there's a way. Only I don't see it, and I don't know it. I hope they can surprise me positively in November. I will go and see it, and hopefully it's good.
Yeah, but it would be the Hail Mary of all Hail Marys to save it for you, basically.
Yeah. Art said it best. when you're sitting in the theater watching Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, your mind is constantly going, what would this movie be like if Chadwick Boseman was still alive or T'Challa was recast? That thought is going to be in your head, and that is going to take away from this movie. So yeah, I'm not excited for it, but I'm looking forward to it because I do want to see what they're doing.
Look, even if it turns out to be a slow-moving train wreck, that could be interesting too. So support the franchise.
Absolutely. In worst case scenario, it falls into the category of No Way Home for me, and I've seen it once. I can't even buy the DVD because they're not releasing one in my country, but I will see it again probably, but not so many times as I've seen others. So yeah, basically, I expect Black Panther, Wakanda Forever to fall in the same category for me in the end.
All right, you heard it here. The Grandmaster's expectations for Wakanda Forever are in the basement, perhaps even in the sub-basement.
6 feet under.
All right, but hopefully they can turn it around for you, sir. Thank you so much for your notes on this. Alex, last but not least, let's talk about your perspective on upcoming releases in Marvel's Phase 4. What corner of this universe are you looking to, either on streaming and film, to really sort of light that fire for you?
I mean, it's got to be Doctor Strange.
It's got to be, right?
It's got to be Doctor Strange. Yeah, I love the first film. I think it's a top 10 MCU movie.
Yeah, top tier.
I love the magic side, like I was saying earlier. So I think, yeah, nothing matters until Doctor Strange. Although I am pretty excited to see Moon Knight because, yeah, brand new character, completely different. And with Netflix, like you said, bringing the shows over, or Disney Plus bringing the Netflix shows over, I think we are going to see, some rated R stuff pretty soon. I think the U.S. is like the only country that has, that doesn't have Star, which is the
right,
rated
the hot
R
Star
version.
or Star, the rated R version of Disney Plus. That's Hulu for us, basically, here in the States.
Yeah, which it's kind of separate. I have Hulu and Disney Plus, but they're almost too separate, or like we would need an extension button or something on the Disney Plus app to take you right to those, films maybe. I don't know.
Alex, let me ask you, how deep into the promotional material you are, how deep into the trailers, the rumors, all that kind of stuff that goes with MOM, are you trying to be virginal and not look at too much of that before you go see Doctor Strange 2? Or are you just kind of, absorbing every single piece of material out there? What's your approach to going in to see that film?
I'll reserve a little bit for the spoiler culture part. However, I do stay away from leaks for the most part.
Okay.
I make videos on the MCU and such, so I do know some references and some like not so known things about the movies coming up, but I will never go on Reddit to look up a plot leak or anything like that. So yeah, I try to stay away from it.
You're not slumming on 4chan looking for those tasty tidbits.
Nah. Yeah, I really like to go in and be surprised, honestly. Just enjoy it.
Okay. Call us old school, Alex, but I'm right there with you. I mean, to some degree, you don't want to go into the film having the whole thing outlined for you. So good to hear that I'm in good company on that one. I want to put a bow on our discussion about upcoming releases for Phase 4. We've got a lot of diversity from the panelists, whether it be Doctor Strange, whether it be Black Panther, Wakanda Forever for infamous reasons, whether it's going to be Fantastic Four you're looking forward to, or something that might even be considered as obscure as Armor Wars, which Stanton brought up. People are looking forward to a lot that's coming out of Phase 4. I'm also looking forward to Armor Wars. I can't wait to see, these incredibly, these personal combat systems with their micro incendiaries and energy weapons and all this kind of stuff. I'm just so ready for it too, Stanton. So I think you and I are going to have some good discussion on the board about that kind of stuff. But yeah, as you can see, guys, out there in fandom land, there's a lot to look forward to with Phase 4, and the panel has sounded off on this.